Over the next 12 months, I will be attempting to build an AI company to $1 million from completely scratch. Now, in the previous video, I walked you through my thinking of approaching starting an AI company, what I'm going to be doing with the current agency that I've been running, how I'm going to fit it in. I'm actually not going to be growing it. I'm going to maintain the clients I have, but also use the skills that I've built in doing that agency and taking that into the AI company. Now, in this video, I wanted to talk through how we actually plan on getting clients and how we're going to split up that responsibility between me and Lucas, and how we plan to, because without sales, you don't have a company. So sales are the most important thing that we need to focus on. How do we have conversations with people to get them interested in what we have to sell? And how do we actually spend on scaling? Because to get from $0 to $1 million in just 12 months is not easy. So we need to have a very clear plan, be able to execute on that plan quickly, but as well as be able to adapt. In terms of getting clients, starting out, there'll be two main ways that we focus on getting clients. Now, one is cold email. Now, we had a plan of building out cold email, building out a sequence and setting it to a list. I had 762 businesses on a lead list to send emails to, and I had a 5 email sequence written out and launched within 48 hours. Now, that was launched 2 weeks ago. And since then, we haven't had too many responses, to be honest. We booked one strategy session from it. In terms of the actual campaign, there's still 300 and something businesses that haven't been contacted. We're only actually 2% of the way through the campaign because of all the follow-ups. But from it, we've had two really interested leads, one book strategy session, one potential book strategy session, which we're just waiting to hear back from, which realistically, if you don't hear back from, I'll say they'll call you back. They're not going to, but they seemed interested. Other couple of maybes, which we're waiting responses from emails, a couple of F-offs, and then a lot of auto replies. Now, in terms of the performance that we were expecting with the campaign, it's not been going anywhere near to the level that we hoped or that we thought. And here's why I think that is. One, of those 762 businesses, which were collected by my VA, my virtual assistant, I didn't specify that we just wanted business owner or personal emails. So Jack at XYZ domain. Because in that, majority of them are clinic business emails. We're going after health clinics in that campaign. And because of that, they either have an auto reply, they have a screener where you need to send some confirmation in order to get through, or it's seen by a receptionist. Now, in most cases with a receptionist, the business owner will tell them anything that's selling something, just say no. So even if it is going to help them, they don't see it and they don't get a chance to be intrigued in the offer that I have because it's already been, like, the receptionist just deletes it straight away. So it's a massive, massive problem when you're trying to get through to these business owners, because if you don't actually reach the owner, you'd never know if your offer works. So what I'm changing is I'm building out an SOP for the VA to be able to collect actually personal emails. That way, in these cold email campaigns, we're just reaching decision makers. I think that'll massively increase our response rate. Whether or not increases the takes, I don't know, because we need to validate the offer and the way that we're running through it all. Now, alongside these cold emails, I'm about to launch another one going after another set of businesses, which I'll touch on in another video. But alongside that, Lucas is doing some cold calling. Now, there are a couple of reasons for this, but of the thousands of cold calls which I've done for my own agency, our plan was, okay, if we don't see any immediate success with this cold email campaign, we're going to throw in some cold calling. Why? Because I know that cold calling is the fastest way to get good conversations with business owners, to get fast feedback on what you're doing. What are you offering? Is there interest? What are the questions that people have? What are the objections that you get on the actual cold call itself? And I know that from every 100 cold calls, you'll get at least one meeting. So if we want to forcefully get calls, which we need to be able to validate our offer, learn as much as we can as we go, we need to be doing some cold calls to push alongside the cold emails. And to which, when we actually get our first client, we'll then start running some ads. Hopefully we get some inbound stuff from either YouTube or Instagram that we're both running. We've got a massive plan around how to actually get all these clients. But for now, it's cold email, cold calls. Now, I said there were 2 reasons to get cold calls. The first one, to forcefully book some calls. And I know that for every 100, you'll get an X amount of booked calls. You just will. Even if you've got a really bad pitch, if you speak to people, you will get, and I say this jokingly, but you will get some idiot to say yes. It just happens. It doesn't matter how bad your pitch is, you'll get some idiot to say yes, unless you're so bad at the phone, basically non-verbal. Now, the second reason was we had our first strategy call last week. And I'm actually going to add in a clip of me talking about that strategy call, or I'm going to add in a clip of me talking about our approach to that strategy call, just so you've got an idea, because I filmed a video in relation to it, or I filmed a clip. We haven't signed a client yet, but we have managed to book the first strategy call or audit. So we've completed the audit. Where are the leaks within the business where they could be making more money, saving money, or saving time? And so we've got this in a document, which we'll run him through on the call. Lucas will run him through on the call tomorrow, and how he's missing out on 90 plus K in extra yearly revenue, all from things that he could be automating or using with AI. So I just created a quick short, a quick Instagram reel going over what those bits are, how we're pricing it, what is the actual quantifiable data associated with these fixes. Like, we're not just fixing things for the sake of fixing things, is what is the actual tangible amount of money that we are saving or making due to this. Like, if we automate some sort of upsell sequence, taking into account a percentage of people that would take it and the average order value, what could that mean in terms of increased revenue for the business? And so we're taking all of these things to account, putting them together in the biggest needle moving ones that we think would do the most for the business. Because this business, it's a medi spa, and they're doing pretty well. They're doing more than $1 million a year, and he doesn't see any problems with what he's doing right now, no bottlenecks. So it's hard to sell to because there's no problems we can specifically solve to. But how we're approaching it is going after hidden leaks within the business, stuff that he doesn't realize he's missing out on, little percentages here and there. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but when you're doing $1 million a year and you missing out on even just 5%, what's that? 5% of $1 million, well, of 100, that's 5,000. That's 50,000 that you're missing out on, which can help you reinvest into business growth. It can help you hire another person. It can help you build out more systems. It can help you invest into research and development in terms of AI, advertising, new products you can build out. There's so much you can do, and people just don't do it because there's actually so many of these hidden leaks in many different businesses. So I'm really excited to see how the call will go. I don't think we'll close him because we just get the sense and the vibe that he's not really going to buy. He is interested for the call, but he's already working with an agency doing ads for them. So they're getting leads. They've been working with them for 8 months. So it's been doing pretty well. But if we can just give him this data, it's like, look, you're missing out on 90 plus a year in revenue. Here's how we can solve it. And we price it where it makes complete and total sense, where it's like, say we only achieve X, you still cover the cost, and everything from that point on is all profit or all bonus revenue for you. Now, it didn't go too well. I think we could have closed him. He was a bit belligerent, a bit like, all right, let's just go on with it. Just tell me the information I need to know, and then let's get on with it. Lucas not having the experience on the calls of actually being on like a Google Meet or a Zoom, seeing them. And then about this guy's character, he was just very pressuring, and Lucas felt the pressure. As well as he's still got a level on the calls where there's a lot of ums and ahs. It's not very natural flow, which only comes from doing so many calls. So we thought about, we're like, okay, when we get an opportunity to sell someone or to present them something of immense value on this call, we don't want the case of them not becoming a client to be of our own doing. And by that, I mean the way that we present it, so the tone, the way that we're speaking, just verbal mistakes. And 2, because we didn't know answer to potential questions that they could ask. Now, in the case of that call, there are a couple of questions and a couple of objections that we just didn't even think of. For example, we didn't have a demo ready, which come to think was kind of stupid. Like, you need to have a demo to be able to show what the automations and the AI can do. But we didn't even think about that. But now we do, and now we've built something out so that we can actually show clients. And I was thinking, okay, well, we don't want to waste this opportunity to be able to have the greatest chance to have a client possible. Let's do some calls. It is the best and fastest way to really eliminate those ums and ahs, to become really natural on the phone. You'll get people who throw something in that's got nothing to do with your script, which you then learn to really just respond to it on the spot, and you get better and better and better with each one. It is a skill that is only developed by doing so many. And Honestly, it's one of the best things you can do. If you're run a service-based business, I would recommend to every single person out there, do cold calls. For the reasons of, one, you'll become so good at talking to strangers. Two, you'll learn how to think on your feet. If you get an objection, this objection, that objection, you know how to handle it without it being on the script. And then you add it to the script, or maybe you just keep it in your brain. And then three, the rejection you face on cold calls is unlike anything you will ever experience. To be told fuck off by completely random strangers when you're actually just trying to help them, to be hung up on, to be rejection after rejection after rejection, it's taxing, it's hard, and it's annoying. But in doing it, you build so much resilience and an understanding that no's are part of the game. You know that if you get, for every 15 no's you'll get 1 yes. And for that 1 yes, you'll get a booked call. And for every 5 booked calls or 5 yeses on the cold calls, you get 1 yes to become a client and it's $7,000 in your bank account. So you know for every 20 calls, you'll make $7,000. You break that down, how much is that per call? So there's different ways around making sure that you can gamify it. But cold calling, like Lucas sent me this message, it's like, dude, no after no after F off after F off. And I said, yeah, that's part of it. And it's so many people will stop. So the main fact that we will never stop is the reason that we will become successful with this, because people will do that. They'll get 20 no's in a row, won't get a yes, and then they'll stop and never cold call again. Now, we'll eventually have other people cold calling for us. We'll figure out different ways to do it and approach it better. But I said to him, it's a game of getting slapped in the face 15 times in a row to finally get a yes, to be really excited. Awesome, we just booked a call. Let's get another one. Oh, 15 more slaps in the face. It's it's a tough game. It's a tough game, but that's what we're doing to get clients. Now, I'll run through sort of my inbound strategy once I haven't fully built that out yet and don't understand exactly how that'll work. The first thing is just conversations, understanding how we'll actually implement AI for clients, what that'll look like, and a few different other things which I'm working on. But I wanted to run through that, and I'm going to be documenting this whole process for us getting to 1 million. Now, I think that is so possible, and I'm really interested to see how we actually get there. If we do manage to get there, if we don't get there, why didn't we get there? Where did we hit? What revenue did we hit within the business? Okay, what could we have done to get there? So I've got a massive plan. I'm really excited to see how this actually goes, and I'm going to be documenting. I want to post a couple of these a week. Some stuff that I learn, like I'm reading and trying to learn as much as I can. I'm watching as much. I might join a few programs. I'm so eager to learn all this AI stuff because this opportunity is one of the biggest opportunities of our lifetime, and I'll say that 1 million times. I've probably already said it 1 million times. But anyway, that's how we plan to get clients, and I'll see you in the next one.